Getting an employer identification number should be one in all your first steps when opening a business. It's free, simple, and you'll have one less thing to try and do come tax time. Today, we'll show you how to get one, why it is important, and all the misconceptions that most people have about what is an EIN. But before that, please make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to be in the loop with the latest money tactics on how to increase your wealth. So let's get into it. An employer identification number, also sometimes called a federal taxpayer identification number, could be a 9-digit number utilized by the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, to track businesses and certain other entities. Business owners use an EIN to conduct activities that will otherwise require a social insurance number, or social security. Many entrepreneurs have questions on EINs and whether or not they must have one. So we thought we'd dive a bit deeper and supply some answers to clear up any confusion. Who needs an EIN? The guidelines employed by the IRS for determining if an employer identification number is required implies that almost all businesses must have an EIN. Besides, acquiring an EIN is a vital step to establishing your business and can facilitate your upkeep of your legal and financial matters. As soon as you launch your business, you'll have to apply for an EIN. You'll wait until you've registered your company within the state where you intend to try to do business. But you'll need an EIN before you'll be able to open a business checking account. You can think about an EIN as a social security number, but for your business. Don't worry about keeping it too secure though, because unlike a social security number, an EIN isn't considered sensitive information. Be careful to never give it out though, unless you would like to do any business activities with people and organizations that you trust. Do you need an EIN? Most self-employed folks and small business owners will need an employer ID number at some point, even nonprofit organizations. But you're legally required to get an EIN if you answer yes to any of the following questions. Does your business have any employees? Does your business operate as a C corporation, S corporation, financial obligation company, or partnership? Do you file employment tax or exercise returns? Do you withhold taxes on income apart from wages paid to a non-resident? Well, according to the IRS, sole proprietorships don't require an EIN. They'll just use their social security number. The exception to the rule though is that if your sole proprietorship wants to try to do any of the previously mentioned activities, then they will have to apply for an EIN. As I mentioned, hire employees, incorporate, file exercise returns. Even if you're not legally required to possess an EIN, we recommend getting one, since EINs are required to open business bank accounts, apply for business licenses, and secure some varieties of financing. Now, getting a state EIN number. If your state requires you to pay state income taxes, you must get a state EIN. Rules though change from state to state, so you'll have to seek advice from your state tax authority on the way to get an EIN in your state. Applying for an EIN. Applying for an EIN is fairly straightforward, but there are some nuances based where your business is located. To reduce any stress related to the EIN application process, be prepared and allow yourself a lot of time, since you must complete the application in one sitting. Now, United States-based businesses. Before you apply, confirm you've got a social insurance number or individual taxpayer number, and know what style of business you're applying on behalf. Only the responsibility party can apply, which is usually the business owner. Probably the best way, and definitely the fastest, is to apply online. Or you'll be able to fill out Form SS-4 and fax or mail it to the IRS. Now, for international businesses, if you don't have a domicile or a principal place of business within the US, but what you are doing must file taxes here, then you'll be considered a world applicant. Getting an EIN for a global applicant involves a lot more paperwork, so you'll want to follow the instructions from the IRS. The difference between EIN and tax ID. There are some different numbers used to identify a business based on the context. As far as bookkeeping and taxes go, these numbers are often named generically as a tax ID, federal tax ID number, or business tax ID number. If you're a business owner and you hear any of those terms, they're referring to your EIN. So really, there is no difference between a business tax ID and an EIN. A company's EIN number, though, is exclusive to every business. It's used to file your business's official documents and pay your employees. And most banks or credit unions won't open a business account until they have an EIN. The 9-digit number never expires, and it will never be reissued to a different business. So, no other business will ever have your EIN number assigned to them, whether or not you venture out of your business. So, an EIN helps protect your business identity within the same way that your social security number helps protect your identity. Thankfully, the online application process is fairly easy, so there's nothing standing in your way. That's all I had for today. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope that this video was able to help you understand what an EIN is and what it is used for. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom so that you can stay updated about all the new content I make regarding finances, investments, and the business world. Stay well, and see you in the next one.